you'd be surprised of all the comments that we got the past 2 days. Hey, what's up, worship leaders and teams? What's good? Just want to say thanks for the outpouring. You guys came out of the woodwork to answer the question that was posted. Give one piece of advice to young worship leaders who are in their 20s. And this is spoken from people who are 30 years old and up. It could be anybody. Before we begin, I just want to invite all of you to check out the Worship Team Training Podcast with our new episode 10 hitting soon here in 2024. So go by and subscribe. Instagram, you guys, huge shout out because a lot of you, I'm just going to give a synopsis of which each platform talked about, Instagram and Facebook. And Instagram, it was more about personal prayer and worship before you lead others in public worship. Awesome. And that was put out by Michael Gould, good friend. And I'm going to read some just the highlights because there were so many comments, but just many of them were so good. Others talked about picking the right song as a huge detail in terms of theology and also in terms of pitch and singing it at a range that most people can understand, not just dogs. So that was cool. Mr. Joel Engel was instrumental in that, so thanks, Joel. Also said this, worship has nothing to do with music, but it's about being a support. A lot of you said the same thing, and it was just amazing. Also, to make sure that the worship time is not performance time. That was another big topic there. And you guys ran it and raved, and it was so good to see. Many of you also just said to read your Bible, know the word. That was spoken by Wanda Floyd. Thanks, Wanda. That was awesome. Okay, and Facebook, you guys rocked it off the wall. There was over 115 comments. The synopsis of what most people said were relationships were everything with people. Character above talent. Let's see, you're thinking about public worship, it needs to be brought out of authentic private worship. So both Glenda, Harry Walls, what's up, said all these good things. Loving people is your priority. Matt Lockwood said that. Thanks, Matt. Tanisha Williams said, be your authentic self. Just so simple. I love that. And also, we had others that said about being in worship is not a performance. It's same thing as what all you Instagrammers said as well. And we also heard a lot about how you are to really understand people within your church because it is about relationships. David Romero talked, and thanks, David, he talked about how you need to be more behind the scenes, serving without being seen. I thought that was so good because when we lead worship, it really is that same way. We are just to be invisible, right? Leading worship and leading people. Derek Crosby, what's up, said about spontaneous worship is awesome and powerful. However, practice those spontaneous worship in rehearsal. In other words, learning how to be, I would say it this way, plan spontaneity. Now, that's huge because it's about being authentic, but also learning how to stay within the fold of the sheep and not running outside too far, too wild where people just can't follow you. So, and I know I'm probably going to get a lot of comments about that last one too, but who cares? Talk less, listen more. Love the people more than the music. Anonymity is a gift. Love that. So, spiritually, and that was spoken by Eric. Now, aside from practical worshiping in the Spirit and song selection and theology, Debbie Messer, awesome, love it. She talked about how to be an example to someone by setting good ground rules and in the action of not giving somebody a song on Wednesday and that same week to also lead it on that Sunday. A lot of you go through that, and I thought that was so cool because Debbie, there's so many of us that just we hear a great song, we want to rush, we want to get it done, but it may not be the best thing for the leader. So got to think about that. Also, Terry McLevy, if I'm McKelvey, I think, I'm so sorry. She said that music isn't worship. It's true because worship and music are not synonymous. What she's meaning is that we can bow down in prayer we can bow down and worship through prayer, communion, reading the word, listening to the taught word, giving tithes, offerings, so forth. Everything can be an act of worship. I love it. So just want to say big thank you guys for participating in these questions. I'll throw out more along the way. And for more content and upcoming topics that we'll be addressing, you want to subscribe to the Worship Team Training podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever that you get your podcasts. We have a new season 10, coming soon this 2024 with new guests. Can't wait to have you join us. Again, the Worship Team Training podcast. Thanks so much for joining us here, and see you next time soon. And the fun is not over yet. If you got a comment that you still want to drop below, you can do it here, or you can find the post about telling your younger 20-something person what you've learned about leading worship.